just won this big giant former semi-pro wrestler or some shit, and then this other guy, to move his dad's body, to get him downstairs.
Well, I mean, you got to shift him somehow.
So apparently the house had an elevator.
Oh, really? So the house?
Well, because this guy had moved in with the sister, so and just he couldn't get up and downstairs. He was such a big guy. So apparently, as John described it, it was like a remake of Weekend at Bernie's. Apparently,
oh yeah, that's great.
They kind of haul this poor guy into the elevator, and then he's flopping around, so he falls into the corner of the elevator, up against one of these guys.
It's such a fun story.
And it's
it's so ironic that you just can't stop watching it.
John had such a good sense of humor about it all.
Good.
His dad, this guy was a big dude, man.
Well, I mean, when I cack off, I don't want you to be all sad and morose. Just realize I've lived a damn good life and been more or less happy. There's some things I wish I could have happened or still might happen. I think those of you guys who watch me know what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, YouTubers, this is Joe Kersey here. YouTubers, hello, YouTubers.
We did a little intro. We did a soft open.
Yeah, soft open.
Yeah.
On Epiphany, 2018, January 6th. And for those of you who don't know what Epiphany is, look it up. And
pagans.
No.
I'm kidding.
No, not everybody that doesn't know what Epiphany is not a pagan.
I submit to you that
salvation is open to us all.
It's true.
Freely offered to us all. And it's about 16:20 in the afternoon Eastern time.
16:19.
Well, it just sounds so much easier. I like to do things in fives, multiples of fives. It's like the multiplication tables that Thomas is going to be learning, not Thomas, but Carter will be learning, because that's how you learn multiplication. You learn the multiplication tables up through 12, and then everything becomes easy.
Well, I told
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
He and I were having that exact same conversation in the car on the way home.
Yeah, exactly.
And he says, well, I've already learned all my multiplication tables except for the 9s and the 12s.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but you've learned all the rest of them? He goes, yeah. I'm like, so you know what the 9s and the 12s are.
The 12s were the bastards for me.
Well, yeah, but if you've already learned...
Well, he's learned the two toughest ones.
Well, but you've already learned the rest of them.
And 11, and here, teach him a trick about 11. It's like, if you have 11 multiplied by any number, you take a number, you multiply it by 11, you add the two digits, and this only works for two digits. You add the two numbers together, say 53 times 11.
Yeah.
What's the result? It's 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8, 3, 5.
Oh,
yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's an interesting trick. Yeah. It's just like, multiplied by 10, just move the decimal point over, dividing by 10, you move the decimal point other way.
Well, so I was trying to explain to him. He's like, so we learned all of the multiplication tables last year except for 9 and 12. I'm like, so what
he hasn't learned it.
Well, no, he has.
Oh, okay.
But, so I said, so basically what you're telling me is the only one you don't know then is 9 times 12 or 12 times 9. Because if you learned all the others, you know those.
12 times 9, that's 108, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I always have to think.
So then I said, so if you've learned them, what's 8 times? It's 8 times 8. It's just long pause.
64.
Yeah, this is long pause. I'm like, okay, tough one. What's 5 times? What's 5 times 7? It's this long pause.
35.
I'm like, so you haven't really learned these. You were just exposed to them. He goes, yes, Dad, that's correct. I forgot them all. I'm like, okay.
Well, you just have to just memorize them, and then and then if you're lucky, you'll have somebody like me teach you little mathematical tricks, or like Mr. Tarleton teach you little mathematical tricks, or Mrs. Floyd, the woman with the deadly arm, where she would throw an eraser back at you and hit you in the head with an eraser.
I never figured out.
She really knocked Ernie's sword out of his seat one day.
Oh yeah. Well, I told you about Mr. Canal.
That's when teachers could actually enforce discipline in the classroom. I mean, this woman was obese. You know, she rarely moved out of her chair, but she had a deadly arm with that eraser. And she'd have people bring her, retrieve them and bring them up to her, so she had a continual supply. 7th grade arithmetic, math, whatever you want to call it. It was arithmetic, basically. I actually had one of the high school teachers tutor me in Algebra 1, the first year of algebra, so I could bypass that and just go right to Algebra 2. Mr. Deerhake, God bless him. Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, so you skipped Algebra 1 altogether?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't get any high school credit for it, but I skipped it. Well, they weren't going to give you any, there wasn't any advanced placement at, Lebanon High School in 1968, 67, 69. It's like survival of the fucking fittest, claw and scrape your way forward as best you can. Kind of like life, huh?
Typical public school.
No. Lebanon High School. I mean, you look at the quality of faculty. You had well over 50% of the people had actual master's degrees in their subject area. Thank you very much. The guy that taught me American history had a master's degree from the University of Michigan in history.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. The one that taught me English literature, she had a master's degree from Columbia, and she never let us forget it, which we didn't really want to thank her very much for that.
Yeah. Well, most people who go to Columbia will leave.
No, it's like
dudes that go to Princeton and Columbia never let you forget.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It's like when I used to meet Roman Catholics for the first time. Within 10 minutes, they let you know you were Roman Catholic. They were Roman Catholic.
Trying to say. I
don't know about that. I think it's just such a big part of their life. That's what they said. That's okay. And all the Roman Catholics I knew, they were very willing to discuss theology with me. And it was great. And so we had great conversations. Mike Wettenberg and Thomas Buffenbarger, who is now the president of the International Union of Machinists.
It's pretty cool.
He always said he wanted to be a union guy. His dad worked for GE and the jet engine factory in Cincinnati.
Oh.
And he was a shop steward. And Buffenbarger says, he didn't even go to college. He went right into GE.
Yeah.
And started rising through the union ranks. All right.
Well,
I don't agree with his politics, of course, but he was always one of these guys. There were like 7 guys. They lived out in this hard scrabble joint on the southwest edge of town, and we'd go in there. And you'd have like jump cars all over the place, doors hanging open and windows hanging off, and all that. So, they had like 7 brothers and all this. It's like most of the time, despite the temperature. I mean, I think the only time they ever got fully dressed was when they had to go to school.
Oh, wow.
They're wandering around, just like great.
The only time they ever got fully dressed is when they had to go to school.
Clothes are expensive.
Well,
They couldn't afford. I mean, it's like suck-on tit. I grew up with a lot of suck-on tit people.
Well, Southern Ohio.
Yeah. Well, no, it's Southwest Ohio, and this guy had a solid middle-class job. He worked for General Electric jet engine plant. Yeah, that's a good job.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was off, drinking his paycheck up, But you have 7 kids.
Oh, well, 7 kids. That's
And,
just,
and they're of the age where they basically eat anything that moves in front of them.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't appreciate.
Yeah, they were all more or less teenagers at that point.
Yeah.
Starting about 10. Wait till Carter really gets into the flow of things.
Well, if the kid will freaking eat,
He'll eat. You bet your ass he'll eat. But if he doesn't, then that's called survival of the fittest. That's called natural selection.
Such a pill. Man, he's a pill.
Anybody that reads Sun Tzu when they're 9 years old can't be all bad.
That's true. It's true.
My grandson is reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I'm so delighted. He took it to his Cub Scout.
His Cub Scout winter camp.
Yeah, winter camp.
Yeah. That's a photo of a lifetime right there.
I know those. If you take no more pictures in your entire life,
done.
Those
Check that box.
two are the best. And if you don't put those bastards up on Facebook, I will.
Yeah, I'll put them up when I get home.
I will.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious.
I'll have to show them. I didn't send them to Liz. I sent them to Tony Pincher. Well, I sent one of them too.
Well, there's only one where you can tell he's actually reading Sun Tzu.
That's true. Yeah.
The other one, he's just lying down looking at it.
Well, I actually sent it to Ed Bennett. Because Dean Caswell, always is quoting, this Australian friend of his.
Oh, yeah.
The one I watch is always quoting Sun Tzu. And as I said, I've read a moderate amount of Sun Tzu there for Air Force ROTC.
I actually don't think I've read much of it. So now that the boys got it, I'll read some.
It's very aphoristic. I mean, it's like reading Proverbs. I mean, it's like geez, how long can this go on?
Well, it's like he's basically making notes.
Is he making notes?
No, but Sun Tzu was.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, okay, here's some stuff I've learned.
Well, I mean, it's like the general thrust of all these things are, you win without fighting. You win even before anybody's going to come to battle by having arranged externalities such that your opponent is already fighting.
Right.
Yeah. That's called like life in the U.S. Congress right now, I imagine. Cheers. God bless us all.
God bless. Cheers.
Yeah, Thomas is using the Durham Brewery cup that Tony Pincham sent. Or glass, rather.
There you go.
Don't hold that over my machine, please. Please don't hold that over my machine. Now we'll have to have a few of those for North Durham here, assuming I get the passport number.
We've already
in a visual way.
We've already talked about this.
Well, the sooner I can, cheaper these things are going to be. These things aren't going to be cheap to start with, which is fine because it's going to be like another once in a lifetime trip.
Yeah.
And there's a chance we may have one more once in a lifetime trip, if not with you, but maybe with Kurt. So,
that'd be awesome.
Or the two of us, yeah.
Well, the three of us would be more fun.
Yeah, it would be great fun because one of the two of you. Well, he has to be over 25 to drive, but you could drive.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, I could. Good. That'd be interesting. Take me along one of those hedgerows. I remember took him over in '95. We were driving down. We were going to Canterbury from Gatwick.
Oh, that was right after the initial arrival.
Yeah, it was like I was dead tired and all this. I mean, I didn't know whether I was in heaven or on the lawn. And we're going down these B roads and shit. It's like, and the hedges were going against the side of the car. And I'm thinking there's going to be a mirror left, there's going to be paint left, and all this. And Thomas is just.
I'm like gripping the headrail.
He was doing my mother. My mother was my mother would always when I drove. She always grabbed something like she was trying to control.
Well, like my legs are locked and pushing forward on the floor.
The imaginary brake. And I think I turned to you and I said, are you channeling my mother's imaginary brake pedal?
That was the most terrified I've ever been in my life until now. It's the second most terrified. The only thing scarier than that was driving in New York City.
Oh dear Lord!
Well, I wasn't even driving in New York City. I was riding with a fucking cabbie. Pardon my French. Cabbie in New York City.
Oh, actually in Boston once I had to tell a guy to stop and let me out of the cab. This guy had this mask on, and I think it was Sudanese, which is okay. That's fine. But he was babbling, and he was jittery and hopped up, and he had this little mask on, those little. I thought, well, I don't know, a lot of people, they they're going to get a virus or a germ.
Yeah, I know.
And this guy's irrational. So I told him, I stopped him about 2 miles from my hotel. I said, I'll walk.
Yeah.
And I just, And then of course there was a time in Chicago. This guy tried to, he took me down underneath the way, and I knew he was going the wrong way. And I thought, oh, this guy's going to try to kill me. and I had taken the cab in from O'Hare, which don't do that. That's just horribly pricey. I mean, just hellishly expensive. He says he'd give me a deal, and it was like we're under the elevated train tracks and shit, and he says, come on and look at the back. Look what I have in the back. And I thought, there's going to be some bodies in there, and I'm going to be the next one in there. And it's like, like that. And no, what he had was a bunch of stolen electronics in there.
Oh, well, he wanted to do a little business deal.
And he was offering me a deal.
Business transaction.
I said, I've got a fine stereo system at home. I really don't need it.
And he's like, really, what's your address?
Any of it. I didn't want to tell my fucking address, but I said, I really appreciate you offering me this and going to all the trouble of going out of your way to offer. But I really, don't.
I'm good.
Of course, meet all the meters.
Oh yeah.
Either way, he's getting the meter churning around inside. Okay, man.
Well, it was like the first night we arrived in New York. There's some guy sitting there with a minivan. It's like, hey, I'll give you guys a deal. And, we're like, oh, okay. And we, of course, it was not a deal. And this man was not actually an Uber driver. So we're in the car, and I'm like, and then it kind of dawns on me, as this guy is driving us, to our hotel. I'm looking around, I'm like,
what did you say, $50 to the hotel, something like that?
It was like $70 to the hotel. Yeah. And I'm looking around, I'm like,
more than one price.
Then I'm looking around, and it doesn't have any of the usual accoutrements that an Uber driver would have. And I look over, I'm like, you don't take credit cards or anything, do you? He's like, no, man, I'm cash only.
But Uber, your credit card's already entered in.
I know.
Ah, there we go.
But it didn't dawn on me until we were already, of course, you're already on the freeway.
How much you have on the plane?
What?
How much stuff you have to drink on the plane?
Well, I had to get almost insensate to fly.
Well, yes. I used to.
But by that time, I was fine. I really was. And we were all together. It wasn't like I was the only one making this decision. Well, we all got suckered. But I look around and I'm like, so, wait a minute. You're not an Uber driver and you don't take credit cards or anything, do you? It's like, no, man, I'm cash only. And I'm like, all right. So thank God one of us had cash.
Yeah, did he have a Slave mentality?
Well, I don't know.
That's. I've encountered that word for the first time today. I'm fascinated by it. And I'm a linguistic. I'm really kind of a linguistic maven about stuff.
And
like
he's
that.
not ironicizing that.
No, I'm not. No. This was
too ironicized.
Yes, too ironicized. Which is also a Latinization of a word of a noun. When you Latinize a noun into a verb form.
I love it. Never heard that. Ironicize.
Well, I just used it for the very first time today.
Well, because I don't think it's it's.
That's the first time I've ever heard it because I just used it. Blazing new trails here on the Joe Kersey channel.
You're here to hear first, folks. Ironicize. To make something ironic.
Yes. That heretofore has not been. Yes.
Ironical.
I think the folks that are saying from mid-teens to like the late 20s nowadays are essentially they're like women of any age, an irony-free zone.
I hope not.
Oh, they are. Well, no, there's the occasional woman that's not an irony-free zone.
No, I mean,
but come on.
Your sweeping generalization aside, I would like to think that young folks have a sense of irony.
Well, no,
have a sense of sarcasm. Have a sense.
I talk with a lot of young folks, as you know, and no, most of them don't have a damn sense of irony, and they take themselves too damn seriously, and
Well, but that's our culture.
Talk about, well, yeah, trigger this and trigger that and all that kind of crap. And come on, go out in the real world and, don't just, people say things, okay? Maybe they say things that are maybe ill-advised, but they say things and they don't mean anything. It's like a spring thunderstorm. It's a spring thunderstorm.
No, that just doesn't exist anymore.
No, well, that's their problem, isn't it? Well, unfortunately, it's also our problem. We have to deal with them because, of course,
and
they're the
when
ones,
you're outnumbered, and then within society, it's actually your problem.
That's true. That's correct.
Because
and it's particularly problematic when you really have the hots for a number of them.
Well, because how can you be funny if they don't have a sense of humor?
Well,
or a sense of humor that's.
I don't want to go to bed with somebody that doesn't have a sense of humor.
No, who does?
It's boring. It's boring and it's tiresome. Fuck.
Unless you have your blinds, your drapes closed.
Well, because it keeps it warmer.
Oh, I figured that's why.
Yeah, it's 11 degrees. It's 11 degrees. It's once it gets much below about 15, I close those drapes because you get cold air coming in. I felt a damn draft blowing down at me here earlier today.
Well, if I sit at the far end of my couch in my living room, which is towards the front door, I have to put a hat on because I can get this kind of this constant cold blast of air coming from my front door.
Well, I was wearing my hat. I was going to say I was reading my hat. I was wearing my hat here this morning a bit.
What up, G?
Well, you got,
look at how you look at yourself.
You've got to, if you keep your head warm, the rest of your body is like 80% warmer. It's true.
Yeah, but look at your outfit, man. Take it in.
I've got my my Indira long sleeve sweatshirt on. I've got my two sleeveless. I've got two.
We can all see what you're wearing.
These are actually two.
You look like you're like a wannabe rapper, like a mid '60s.
I don't want to rap. I just want to stay warm. Now, I've been sitting around here most of the damn last 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks with my shirt off.
Yes, we all know.
Well, that's okay. Well, it is okay. I think there's a lot of people out there that like that.
Well, sometimes I'm just like, geez, Dad, put a fucking shirt on.
Well,
this is a guy, YouTubers, this is a man who until perhaps, June, I don't know that I ever saw you in my entire life.
You never saw me with my shirt off, ever.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. But
that's true.
That's not true.
Well,
but
I don't know.
Very rarely. But this is a man who I never saw without a collared shirt on ever until I think, the last 8 months, 6 months. Unbelievable. And now you look at you. Now you're like a rapper. And, and you're wearing sweatpants for crying out loud.
Well, these are fuzzy lines. Looky here. These are fuzzy lines. Looky here. These are fuzzy lines. These are warm.
Oh, those are warm.
You put a wool pants over that.
That is actually,
it's like, shit. I just ordered another pair of those. Those are hard to find. Faded Glory, by the way, which is hard to find.
Faded Glory?
Faded Glory. Yeah. It is. I haven't been down the mailbox in 3 days, so I think. Well, not right now. We're yakking here. We're shooting the shit. Now I want here. Let me give this bit of a riposte to Thomas's last statement. What's that about?
Checking my second chin.
Oh, you're fine. The trick is to look straight ahead and not hold your head up like this. We YouTubers know these tricks.
Yeah. Well, it's the classic. Someone's taking your picture.
Well, perhaps Carter will pick those up.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
He may even write them down as an extra aphorism to Sun Tzu.
I guarantee you, he's going to write his own. He's probably already as we speak. He's probably at home.
That's right. You know, instead of the art of war, it'd be like the art of getting around in school and bullshit. By Kersey.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Down. Now, I want to tell you a bit of a story about when Thomas and I went to the UK in 1985.
I wasn't in 1985.
Yeah.
You mean 95?
Yeah, 1995. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for pointing. You know, and you're correct. That was 1995. Yeah. And so we actually, I didn't want to go to London. I didn't want to go to London. I didn't want to spend any time. I certainly wasn't going to drive in London. So I turned the car in. Then we took the train from wherever the fuck I turned the car in. It was probably outside Gatwick.
It was Gatwick.
No, it was Gatwick. Yeah. After the car suffered its only injury in the parking lot of the hotel.
Which wasn't even like your fault. Like you weren't even there.
No, well, I was at the hotel, but I was in the room. I mean, how did I know?
Well, I know. I mean, that's my point.
Somebody was going to run a shopping cart against the car.
Yeah.
Then kind of slack with the rental company did it, but fortunately, my credit card company covered the, damage waiver, that sort of thing. So we took the train in from Gatwick. I was like 30 fucking pounds a piece or some damn thing. It was hellish expensive. But we stayed actually at a very reasonable hotel called the Lancaster Gate Hotel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was only like 60, 65 pounds a night.
Yeah.
In London, and it was, obviously you had to go to the can down the hall. And that's okay. That didn't bother me. And then it had a little sink in the room, so if you wanted to wash your junk in the room, you could wash your junk in the room without having to go, you had to take a shower or anything, but if you want to take a shit, you had to go down the hall. You take a leak in this sink, but you had to go take a shit, you go down the hall. So they also had these great breakfast buffets with all sorts of salami and cheese and sausages and this and that. Of course, it didn't dawn on me till the second day. I can load up on these things with about 5 sandwiches and carry them out of here and eat on them all day and at night.
We can snack.
In fact, I had to wolf the remaining stuff down on the airplane before we landed in New York.
Oh, that's
because they wouldn't let us in the country with these foreign meat products. Give me a break. Anyway, so there was a point to this story.
Lancaster Hotel, London. Turn the car in.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to London.
What were we talking about before? Earlier.
Well, you were launching into the story. There's a story you specifically wanted to tell.
No.
About staying in London. Turn the car in.
Oh well, I just didn't want to. But it might occur to me at some point. Maybe I'll tell it later tonight. I don't know. What the hell is fire?
I don't know. We were just talking about. Oh, it was about your clothes, your dress, the way I was dressed, the way you're dressed.
Yes. Well, so I haven't seen Thomas naked since he was like about 5, 4, somewhere
Probably,
in there. Yeah. And so he's. We had to get changed, obviously. So whenever he got changed, I always tried to turn my back and look out the window at the street life. Enjoy the street life. And so, we were there 3 nights and 3 days, and so the third day, there's the morning we were going to leave. I could hear him chanting. I could hear him pulling on his clothes. I could hear him chanting. He kept saying, "Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me." I always got the hugest charge out of that.
I have no memory of
that. I know you know, but believe you me, it's embedded in my brain for sure. it was you said you'd seen my junk enough. You didn't want to see my wound or my problem I had with my
I never said I didn't want to see that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
So this YouTuber's is called alternate reality.
That's true. That's okay. It's all right. It's always good to know where you stand.
Well, I mean, there's no point in arguing with you.
Well, I'm not arguing.
I know. There's no point. There's no point. Because you're always convinced that your perception is the correct perception.
That's
even
correct.
Though it simply isn't true.
Well, sometimes it's not, and I'm willing to entertain that possibility.
Not really.
But I didn't say I was going to entertain it like obsessively. So I'm entertain it. I mean, now it's not like I'm saying I'm entertaining it like, the sun will rise in the east someday. Obviously, you don't entertain that. I mean, that's a possibility, but it's not that.
The sun does rise in the east.
Oh, the west. Okay, fine.
Okay. I thought you were. Well, I mean, I thought you were making a weird philosophical distinction.
No. You throw a rock into a river. Is it the same river? It's the river of the rock, and and I love that kind of shit. I love that. Kind of shit.
I know. Yeah, a good thought experiment.
I was talking to Sam Whalen about that, and he says, "What do you really like to think about?" And I said, "Well, here, let me fly this past you." I told him about the rock in a pond or rock in a river.
Yeah.
And he was just absolutely fucking speechless. He says, did you think about that kind of stuff? I said, yeah, all the time. I said, this is the kind of stuff that fascinates me.
Is it really the same river?
Yeah, as much as I love the guy, I don't think it would work out. It's nice to try.
Oh my gosh. Well, YouTubers, I gotta take a whiz.
Well, I think we can probably say, should we say bye-bye?
All right, yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you want?
Well, I'm just gonna go take a whiz.
Oh, okay. Well, you carry on.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to do.
You'll take a whiz here. Let's see, and I'll see. Now I've got to go over to Liz's here. In about,
I got.
No, there's no rush. There's
There's
no rush. There's no rush. I mean, God bless Liz. Liz and Henry having me over tonight. And I guess Liz and Tony Pastorelli, who Liz Pastorelli grew up next door to Liz. Well, she had moved out by the time Liz bought the place where they are, and her brother's Fred Marsh. So her original name was Marsh, but Tony, who's generally called Big Tony, he has a garage door operation. And so if you want a garage door done in Columbus, Ohio, call Tony Pastorelli. And Liz and Tony's daughter, well, one of them is living over in next door to Liz now, because they haven't really been able to rent out the house after Fred's mother died. And of course, with all the road construction, it really screwed the value of the property. If you go back to my material, you'll see where that property was. They tried to auction off that property, and it just didn't work. But it's always fun to see them. And now Fred's not going to come over because he's a photographer. He's probably off doing some sort of professional photography stuff. So it's fun. And
hi, YouTubers.
hello, YouTubers.
Hello, YouTubers.
Thomas Kersey here. You need to start your own channel.
Yeah, I'd have to do it like anonymous.
Yeah, I know, because all your fucking, professional Catholic school ethical bullshit.
Well, not even that. I don't want students watching my stuff.
You don't want to see my junk, and you don't want students seeing your stuff.
I don't even know why we're arguing about this.
I'm not arguing.
I never
No,
said.
wait.
I never said.
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait. Do you realize what you just said? Arguing. You use the phrase that we're arguing like a woman would use that phrase. We're guys. We are not arguing. We're discussing.
Okay, let's have a conversation about how, like, I never said anything about your junk or that I didn't want to see it or anything like that.
That's okay.
You're creating a fiction and then passing it off as a reality.
Well,
that's crazy.
That's.
What are you talking about? You were like, do you want to see my hernia wound?
Oh, yeah.
And then we talked about other things, and there was never a discussion or an answer or anything like that.
Okay.
See now you guys all believe it because you don't know it like I know it. Like,
well, I think they know me very well. I've been out for 5 years.
Well, then maybe they understand that this is like. Sometimes YouTubers. Sometimes we'll talk about the great light bulb incident.
Which light bulb?
The great light bulb. So all right, so I got a story.
Tell me.
My wife and I lived over here at the now non-existent corner house.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful retention.
There was well, I mean, I'd call it like a mud room or a breezeway, kind of a.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
To
the rear of the house.
Yeah,
Thing.
Yeah.
So you enter this.
Basically, was the only way you went in anyway.
Yeah, that's we never used the front door. Yeah. But so there's this like mudroom breezeway porch thing, right? And then
it's probably about what 10 by 4, 10 by 5.5.
Yeah, 12 by 4, 10 by 4. So anyway, there was a light bulb that had burned out right above, where you walk in. Like,
well, that was a standard incandescent bulb. That was
standard.
That wasn't one of the fluorescent CFC bulbs.
No, it was just a standard light bulb, and it's like a pole.
Yeah, pole chain.
Yeah. So it had been burned out for like months.
Yeah.
And I just never gotten around to replacing the light bulb.
Yeah.
We didn't need the light. Didn't really use the light that often. Wasn't that big of a deal. So I just
didn't keep the place from being broken in the end.
Didn't make any difference. So one night we're having a gathering. Dad's over there.
Was I there?
Oh yeah,
who's there?
Well, I don't know. Various people. People went home, but we've been up carrying on, and we've been having a few. And
yes.
Dad decides to sit down on the steps that go up to this mud room there, and then over the course of
it was summer.
Yeah. And over the course of a few moments, he decides to lie down.
Laid back into the
such that like you're half in, half out of this
well, that really does make my lower back feel really good sometimes.
And then he says, when did this light bulb burn out? Thomas, this light bulb's burned out. I said, yeah, Dad, I know. It won't. The light has been burned out for months. No, it hasn't. Yes, Dad. It's been like, mind you, my wife and I are sitting on the porch, like at this table, like on a discovered porch, having this like conversation.
You were down over the.
Well, we're sitting around, on the patio. I'm like, no, Dad, it's been burned out for like 4 months. I still haven't changed it. And Dad's like, bullshit. It was just fucking on. It was just on. Dad, no, it's been burned out. No, it hasn't. Yes, Dad. I was like, Joe, it's been burned out for like 4 months. No, it hasn't. This goes on for like 10 minutes. Finally, you're right, Dad, I'll fix that light bulb. And then we hear this.
Well, see, I was waiting to hear that. That's what I was waiting to hear. The problem with me solved.
And then Kelly and I sat there for about a half hour longer, finished our wine or beer. Kelly said, well, what do we do? I said, just leave him here. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah,
it's fine. Like, just don't step on him when you get him.
Don't step on him when you go in.
Next morning, you were going. You were fine.
Great fucking story. I had done that. That's great.
Yeah.
I wish you had told me that.
But the best part about that story was like the 10-minute discussion about this light bulb. Yeah, no, it's been burned out like forever.
That's wonderful.
No, it hasn't.
That's great.
It doesn't matter.
You've never told me that
I
before.
can't believe I never told you that.
No, it's great.
It's one of Kelly's favorite stories.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's
We just
tremendous.
and then we go back and just step right over you.
That's tremendous. That is so tremendous.
Well, it was like summer. I wasn't working.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, you're not going to go
It was
anywhere.
hot as.
I'm obviously not going to go anywhere.
No, it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was hot as fuck out.
Yeah,
My
well, that was a particularly hot summer,
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah. Well, you had a number of gatherings over there.
So it was only comfortable at night. Like so, the only time you could sit outside.
Yeah, you didn't want to. Is that when I got you the chimney?
Oh, we'd had that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you already
yeah.
had that?
No.
Yeah.
That was. But yeah, we.
Is that when your mom came over and called Liz a lesbian?
Well, I'm sure it was one of those visits. We had the chimney going nearly all. I mean, it could be 100 degrees outside. I'd still have a fire.
Oh, I would too. I still think it was so classic. When Liz never met Faith, and
I don't think she called her a lesbian to her face.
yes, she did. Yes,
I think there was more.
She implied that that Liz was a lesbian.
There was more of like she just assumed that Liz was a lesbian and therefore just engaged her in conversation
as if she were a lesbian.
As if she were a lesbian.
Well, of course, the fun thing was, and after Liz, scampered back over across the road, was then I could really get into it with your mom and start fucking with her head about, well, where do you think Henry fits into all this and all this kind of stuff?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I never said she was a lesbian.
I said, but that's what you were thinking. Well,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I said, yeah, you were. I said, I know.
No. She blatantly, she very clearly was.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I mean, it was very obvious.
Oh, of course you was.
And I forget why. I mean, there was something she said that it was just.
Oh, it was fun. It was always fun. You think Slave is bad.
Mom could produce some real cringe-worthy.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, there was a reason you exist,
Yeah.
Not just sheer punch the 22-year-old button,
Well, YouTubers, Dad, I gotta go.
Well,
Scott's having us over at 6.
well, say hi to Scott and the whole menagerie over
Eating
there.
some dinner, playing some games.
Yeah, I might have to. Well, I'd have to throw myself in the high place. But can you get hold of Thomas's or not Thomas's Carter's intro file and just delete that son of a bitch?
I can look for it.
Can you get rid of that ruppy shit?
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, I mean, that would be now. If you want to give me a birthday present, that would be a birthday present.
Yeah.
To get rid of that damn ruppy plays shit.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
That is awful.
Oh, it's terrible. It
He,
really
and,
is.
and he needs to realize that fairly soon because quite honestly, he's very personable and he's very smart.
Yeah.
And he's hitting an inflection point where people will start noticing him.
Well, yeah.
And as him rather than as a gamer.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, YouTubers. I'm out.
Ruppy out.
Yeah, I really hate that. I can't stand that ruppy crap.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that ruppy crap.